What's going on, guys? Sam back again with another episode of the Scale Labs RC podcast, and today we are live from Texas. Actually, from a hotel down in Texas, and we're with the man, the myth, the legend, professional race car driver, and semi-professional RC car racer, Justin Haley. What's going on, man?
Yeah, just like you mentioned, got here to Texas today for a little bit of racing this weekend in the truck, and yeah, did the whole technical inspection process today and passed first time, so that's always good, and hopefully we can race tomorrow.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you're currently with Colleague Racing, and you are actually as everybody I'm sure knows, and the people who don't, Ram, the brand Ram came back into truck racing this year, and you are one of the guys that is spearheading that, and you are actually the high point man, if you will, for all of the Ram trucks as of this far this season. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, obviously, I was actually with Colleague Racing, which is who I'm racing for now. I funny enough, started my Xfinity career with them at the time out of trucks. So I was truck racing, um, and met Matt Colleague and Chris Rice, and they gave me an opportunity to drive their Xfinity car for a number of years, and yeah, went really well. Won some races at Daytona and Talladega. Made the Final Four back when they had that championship format, and finished third in the championship with them. And then they started a Cup Series program. Started racing for them, and our first year out, we were really solid. Finished third at Darlington, third at Texas, and had some really good runs. Finished really well in points, and then a little bit later, my career kind of took me a different path, and did some other stuff with some other teams in the Cup Series, and then yeah, I lost my ride last year, and this opportunity came about to come back to Colleague Racing, and they had been starting this awesome thing with Ram, and yeah, it's a lot. We have 5 trucks that we bring every weekend, which has been um, hectic and crazy. Just having the inventory to do 5 trucks week in and week out is a lot, especially just because you have more than 5 trucks, right? Like you have uh, so many trucks because you have to have 5 on the racetrack plus backups. So yeah, there's just a lot that goes into it. It's been going really well. All the people at Ram are like honestly so awesome. I've never been like the number one, like on a number one race team with an OEM. I've always been, they call it like a premier partner or whatever, with the other OEMs, but I've always been like a lower tier. So I never have gotten like the direct information, um, or technical support with like just being the number one team in an OEM. So with this and Ram, obviously we're the only team that they have right now. So yeah, it's been cool. It's been super different. It's definitely been like a different change of pace going. I spent I think 5 years in Cup, and I tell everyone it was like studying abroad, like because you just don't have anything else going on in your life. Like as soon as you get done with the race Sunday, like it's just the next week, and it's the next week, and it's the next week, and you're doing that for 39 races a year, 36 weeks. Yeah, you just miss out on so much. Like I have so much more time to go dirt racing. Like I've been dirt racing. I'm actually dirt racing next week, doing Flow Week or Flow Night in America, whatever that is. Doing the Spoon River, LaSalle, and I think Lincoln, and then going to Watkins Glen from there. So it's just opened up like so much more opportunities. Like I was able to go to Mississippi Battleground race, which like I had never even heard of. So um, yeah, it's definitely been different. And then also, me and my wife had our first child in January, so it's been nice being home and um, you know being a dad and just going through that process. So I tell everyone like as bummed as I was last year to kind of have to go a different direction, like it's all just worked out perfectly, and I've just kind of trusted the process.
Absolutely. So obviously we're an RC based podcast, but I think I'd be remiss to not ask the question. Like, so as somebody, obviously you're a younger guy and all that still, and still very early on in your career, but when it comes to this college program, you're kind of a vet, right? Like you've been around the program, you've been around NASCAR now for a long time. What is it like starting something from complete scratch? Like you've from from the early parts of your career, you got kind of thrown into a program, right? And then everything was somewhat already established, and you make it happen. But from here, I mean, you guys built everything from the ground up, and you are a big part of that, and a lot of that is, I would assume, kind of on your shoulders to take all these even younger guys than you and kind of progress this program along. So what's that been like?
Yeah, like I said, it's just been different, especially with like all the off weeks. We're coming off of 2 weeks off right now, which is like, again, I just it's just so crazy to me having these weeks off after what I've done for so many years. So yeah, I mean, it's a it's a bit different starting something completely from scratch. I say all the time, like when I first started with colleague, we had 19 employees and it was one Xfinity car, and then they grew that to three full-time Xfinity cars. They might have even had four part-time for sure. So yeah, it's just it's been different. It's a process. I honestly just like love the process of it. Like I enjoy driving, but and we'll get into that like more with the RC stuff. Like I like to work on them more than I like to drive them, just because that's where like my mind is at. And similar with my dirt cars, like I'm just like obsessed with the setup part of it. Like I feel like I'd be a great team owner slash crew chief, just because I'm just like so obsessed with knowing that I made a difference in the truck. So or the car or whatever. But I'm not saying I know a lot, right? Like we all are always learning, but yeah, it's just been different. That's pretty much all I can say. It's actually insane. I have out of the three national series, I have the least amount of starts in the truck series. I think I only had 30 or 40 in the truck series, and I've spent majority of my career in the Cup series, and a good portion of it in the Xfinity series, which is now the O'Reilly series. So yeah, it's different. The trucks they drive so much different. They have so much downforce, so much side force. They don't have a lot of motor for how much grip we're making body wise. Um, but it's been fun. It's definitely kind of slowed things down a little bit compared to the stuff that happens on Sundays. And like I said, it's been a good change of pace. Obviously, you always want to get back to the Cup Series. That's what everyone wants. It's everyone's dream. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty happy where I'm at.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Well, as you just kind of touched on, three Truck Series wins, four now O'Reilly Series wins, one Cup win. But man, let's talk about probably the most important win of your career, the 2024 Chili Bowl
Yeah.
in the street stock class. Take me through that. Take me through all the emotions. I mean, it doesn't matter what class you run at Chili Bowl. If you're a winner at the Chili Bowl, the RC Chili Bowl, you're the man, right? So tell us about that and take us through that week and what you went through.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long story, so I'll ramble on a little bit here about how I got there to do that. So basically, I was always like into RC racing. I had like the original low C sprint car, like way back. Like that was kind of like where I started. And, obviously I was doing other things and, like really racing. So, and I moved away from Indiana, which apparently is where all the RC racing is, come to find out. So, I did that at a young age and followed my dreams in North Carolina. So, yeah, I had always like wanted to be in the dirt oval stuff. Like I'd scroll Facebook and I would see like RC dirt oval videos. I'm like, man, that's like so cool. Like that's all I want to do. And like, I have an RC car here and there that I just get at Hobby Town for, you know, any day of the week and just go bash it and just have fun. And I was scrolling Facebook one day and I saw that there was like a track literally 5 minutes from my house that I've been living at for 3 years in North Carolina, and it was Race and Race Bullring, which he still races and race awesome. Um, yeah, so I like discovered this and like I had no idea, because honestly, and I think Murph Dog talked about this a little bit. You would think for being where we're at in Mooresville and like everyone's down there, like there's really not that much RC racing. Like it's just Matt and there's honestly like not a good following, especially for like Max and Custom Works and everyone to be there. And like, not really sure why it has like never taken off. And we can talk about my track later that I'm starting, because that's a whole process too, and it's honestly been a disaster. But anyway, back to it. So I went out to Race and Race Bull Ring with just like the slash street stock at the time because I had no idea about any of it and fell in love with it and started racing there weekly on Wednesdays and did that for a little bit. I mean, I was pretty on or off because it was just Wednesday nights and I was cup racing at the time, I think. So I, had sim or this or that and just wasn't out there a ton. And then obviously through Facebook saw the RC Chili Bowl was a thing. East Coast wise, there's like not really any of the classes that they run at Chili Bowl, other than like sprint car and buggy late model, which I was not up to speed yet. Like I had no comfort doing that. Like I just ran like slash street stocks like a few times. Um, I wanted to go to Chili Bowl for a few years, or like the 2 years that I knew about it, and I always for some reason it's just a lot like to go out there, especially like if you don't really know what you're doing. Finally kind of developed this relationship with Murph Dog and got to knowing him. And he's like, yeah, you should just like go out there. He went that year. I wouldn't say he really helped me. He just like, kind of helped me get over the bridge to go to the race. And he's like, hey, you need to run these two classes. The one was SC B mod and one was buggy street stock. And again, those classes don't race around here, or I guess they didn't at Race and Race Bull Ring that was near my house. So I just did like research on my own to figure out like what I wanted to run, and I landed on X-ray stuff. Just like through my research, it seemed the best at the time, and I was really happy with the quality. Like they went together well, and again, I just did not know anything, so I went to Chili Bowl and met Will Engel, and he was did a lot of stuff with Techlight. I think was his deal, Techlight for a little bit. He made his own chassis, and they were X-ray buggy based, like conversion cars. And so he knew a lot about the X-ray stuff, and just like kind of like parts and pieces that like I don't know. X-ray stuff is kind of hard to get, from what I found. Like, it's not like super easy to get over here. I guess. Again, I only ran them like that one time, so I just like struggled to get like the stuff I wanted for them. If it's like shock pistons or spare parts. Um, anyway, linked up with him through Paul, who um, owns Shark RC Bodies. Obviously, got to know him because I was racing a slash three stock. So, obviously, what else are you gonna body you're gonna use but his? So, just got to know him as a friend, and he's always been good to me. But yeah, met up with Will Engel, and he kind of took me under his wing that week, and just helped me, I guess, because again, I really didn't know anything, and car was pretty good after we kind of went through it, and yeah, I was lucky enough to win it. So yeah, I honestly really don't have much else. It was quite the experience again because I literally didn't know. Like looking back on it, like I don't even know if I knew what dual rate was. Like I was so like because I was using like a slash controller when I was at Race and Race. So like I didn't like I tell people all the time like I had no idea what I was doing. Um and what I've learned from them, like I absolutely think it's crazy. So, yeah, it was kind of a whirlwind, and then went back to Chili Bowl the next year um, with a sprint car, which I think was like my first time ever running a sprint car in late model, and was under the Wits banner then, and yeah, it's been pretty cool. I like the sprint car now. I take the RC cars to like some tracks, like um, take them to Phoenix. They have the M&M Mile Racetrack or something out there that I ran. Little Dega, obviously, every time I go to Talladega, I bring them. Beard's awesome. I love his track. Pretty cool facility. So yeah, anytime there's like an RC race, especially when I was cup racing, like close, I just like pack up a giant Pelican and like I didn't even know, like, what tires or anything, I would be on. I just kinda did that, and, like, I raced, Indianapolis last year, and I went to Raw on Friday and,
Yep.
again, was on the completely wrong tire. But, like, I just I don't really know that much about RC racing. I'm slowly learning, but it's obviously been pretty cool, and I feel like everyone's generally been pretty helpful, so it's been nice.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. And so looking through doing some of my research and checking in on you on stuff you've been doing. So you've had both Custom Works and GFRP cars kind of after you got out of the conversion car style of racing. So what do you think about both of those brands? And it looks like most recently you're kind of under the Custom Works banner right now.
Yeah, so I met Malico my first RC Chili Bowl, and yeah, obviously the GFRP stuff is really good, and they built some cars for me, and or I guess I built their cars. I don't know, but yeah, he was super helpful, and everyone there that I met was so awesome, and honestly, like such good stuff. Had a great experience and really didn't have like any plans on doing anything else. And then obviously Tony Stewart is now my teammate um, with the Ram stuff, and he did Daytona, and we got to talking RC in Daytona. Um, so I just didn't want to listen to it anymore. Tony has his company, so yeah. Either way, like I don't even like super like care to be brand specific. I think they're both great brands. I think you can go fast in any brand. If you are good enough. I'm not good enough, so it doesn't matter, like, like, you could put a good RC racer in any car and they'd be just fine, so, um, yeah, I love Dustin and everything, that he has going on. I think it's awesome that, he's made a business out of it, and, yeah, just have, like, nothing but respect for him, especially being from Indiana. He's close to Indiana, but, um, yeah, Tony and his company and obviously Max too. When I started to really look into building my racetrack, my RC racetrack, Max and Matt Murphy have been pretty big parts of that. So yeah, I honestly really like. Again, I'm not into it enough to like really know a lot about it. But I know I'm not good enough to like be like a contender. So yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. I mean, so tell us from the professional racer perspective, right? And then you're coming in. Obviously, this is kind of taking over your spare time as much as you can allow it. Obviously, to where
hmm
what's the allure about the hobby, the sport, whatever we want to call it. We debate about that all the time, but what is it about it that is drawing you towards it to where you're now wanting to have a track and you're really going kind of both feet first?
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, I just like love working on them. Like I said, like I'll just go out to my shop and just like build something or glue tires just to, like pass the time. Like maybe it's a Wednesday night dirt race. Like I'm not just gonna sit. I can't just sit on the couch and just like watch a show or something. Like I actively have to be doing something, whatever that might be. Um, so like I've kind of fell in love with that, and then obviously like they're just so scale that I enjoy. Just like messing with them and finding speed here and there. I'm obviously like not good enough to like build my own stuff quite yet, like Matt does. And what he has going on, like that just is a whole nother level. And I have like a bunch of great ideas that I would like love to put into CAD and like figure out. But obviously, again, I don't really have enough time to just like dive into that. So, um, yeah, I like honestly just love the hobby. I think it's great. I think that it has a great purpose, like because as professional as it can be, like it also can just be like so fun and relaxing and like I think there's just both sides to it. So um yeah, I mean honestly for me, I've wanted to build a track for a long time and I've been in a process of trying to get permits from the county. Um for a long time. Like it's a commercial real estate is extremely tough to do, and unfortunately, I have to do it through commercial real estate. I just can't like throw something up in my backyard for multiple reasons. So I've been trying to do it like properly, and um, it's kind of kicked me a few times. But at the end of the day, I just want to like put a top notch facility. Like my dream of what I want my RC track to be is like Max makes fun of me all the time when I tell him like what I want because he's like, man, it's like not that serious. Like just throw something up. It doesn't have to be indoors. That like and Matt's the same way. Like it's just, but I just want to take it to another level. That it's just lights out the best in the country by far. And I think I can do it. Like, I've thought even just getting a bunch of the cup drivers out there for a charity race, wrapping up, sprint cars or late models or low C NASCARs now as their cars and doing some form of charity. I mean, there's just like 1,000 avenues that you can go down to try to make it more than just a bunch of us having fun and wrecking into each other. So, yeah, I don't know. I obviously love racing. It's competitive for me. I love working on them. I love testing setups. It's a super inexpensive way to do it. Like, and it's just fun. So, um, yeah, I honestly don't like have a strong answer like why I love it so much. But I think if you were to ask like any of my friends, um, or very sure my wife, what my favorite thing to do is, it would be RC racing for sure.
That's awesome. The first place my mind goes when you're talking about that is like, man, he's going to build the mill bridge down there. He's going to build the mill bridge of RC racing. That would be pretty badass.
Yeah, the renderings I have are pretty incredible. Like I said, if I could ever get the permits for this thing, it would be pretty sweet. And two, like it's more than that. Like you have to get with your lawyers and create a whole new LLC. And I mean, it's just not like you can just pop up a track um overnight, like the proper way, right? Like to really make it like a legit business. Again, not that I'm like looking to make money from this endeavor. Like I'm really just trying to give a place for people to have fun and enjoy. But um, just to cover all the bases, you have to do it in a certain way. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, I have the land, have the drawings, have the renderings. I'm kind of like it's like a three building thing where there's a bunch more to it. So, but yeah, I mean, my dream is just to have a world class RC racing facility. I mean, that's not everyone's dream, but for some reason, it's mine, and that is what it is.
Nice. Yeah. Once you get a little bit closer, we'll have to leak those drawings. We'll have to leak those renderings here on Scale
Yes.
Labs and show the world. But so that's awesome. And then you kind of touched on something in there about you're not really you have tons of ideas and you want to get them into CAD and all that. Are you involved? Obviously, sounds like you're kind of a nerd like the rest of us when you're not in the race car and you like tinkering and things. So are you pretty fluent in CAD software and able to draw up the stuff that you want, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I could. I have Autodesk, and I have 3D printers. I have the Bamboo Labs, and I have the whole deal. And um, I make some stuff for my like actual dirt car sometimes, like just stuff that like really doesn't matter. But I think it just comes from like racing on Sundays and in the garage over here, like just every detail. It's just like there's not one big thing that's gonna find you speed over here in the big car side of things. Like it's a million small things. So like I've just programmed and trained my brain to like look for all the small, very detailed, precise things to make speed. So yeah, I mean I have a bunch of ideas, but then again, it kind of goes hand in hand. Like I don't really do it enough to like just throw a car down and test it. Like if I was to run, I don't know, PTs or something like on a random weekend, like that's not it. So what I'm saying is like it goes hand in hand with having a track, like right. So and I don't really want to do anything until I have a track, and then once I have a track, like then the testing can be as aggressive as I want it to be. Right, it's my track. I can test every day if I want it to, and me and Murph Dog have obviously had a lot of conversations about things that we both want to do, especially when we're waiting on the next guy to tee off on the hole in front of us, and we're just sitting on the golf cart, just hanging out. Like, there's plenty of time to talk about, millions of business ideas or parts and pieces. And obviously, he's pretty innovative, so that's kind of why we've gotten along. And yeah, I don't know. So I'd like to have the track. I think for what I'm doing right now, like just running the stock custom work stuff, like is obviously good enough. And I went to that Central RC Battleground race, and that was my first time running the Custom Works cars. And honestly, I really haven't run a lot of high grip stuff. or slick tire stuff. So Eddie Hill and Max and Jake and even Stevie Reeves was there. Like we've all been, yeah, I was honestly an awesome experience just to be with them and gain their knowledge. So yeah, I feel like again, I'm not really like trying to step on anyone's toes. I'm honestly just want to have fun and better the community and try to have a good outreach about it. So yeah, I think I'm competitive, but at the same time, I like this is my fun. It's what I do for fun. I think it's literally, I mean, except for a rare select few, it's our fun and it's how we enjoy um, what we do. So
Absolutely. And I think it's, to your point there, it's so important to have guys like yourself in the hobby, right? Like it gives a little bit more traction, a little bit more gusto, if you will, to it, to that you guys are involved and you enjoy it. It makes it funner for everybody. And then obviously when you come, you're having fun too. But that's one of the things that we're kind of on the same trajectory as far as the hobby. We're trying to build a track here, and I mean, I live maybe 5 minutes from Dustin, so like we're all kind of centrally located here, and I'm just south of Raw and all of that as well. So, yeah, huge, nothing but respect for that, and yeah, once you get closer, man, I can't wait to get down there and try it out. That'll be pretty cool.
yeah, I think too, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, like for being in Mooresville or Charlotte, for how many people there are in racing, like there's not a lot of RC racing. I do feel like if once I get a track and like this like quote world class facility that I want to build, whatever it ends up being, like I just know there's like so many crew guys that are on my team or other teams that like you would not believe the amount of like lunch races there are. Every race team I've ever been on has like a group of 10 to 15 guys that have RC cars and they race them on the concrete during lunch. And like that's as far as it goes. So if I can have this like facility that is like, you know, real and people can build cars and there's structure to it and these guys that just like have fun with, I'm telling you, every race team in the industry, every NASCAR team has it. They all have lunch races. So if I can bring, a few of those guys from every team and then, that's suddenly 75 to 100 people that are just new into the RC dirt oval industry. And then, that just continues to snowball. So just growing this sport, I know it's there. It's just, I got to do it the right way and I got to figure out the best way to do it. But yeah, for me in my perspective and what I'm trying to do in RC, and again, I honestly don't have to do anything, but it's just my love. It's kind of my passion project, and I want to see it grow.
Absolutely. And again, like back to what we're trying to do here as well. I mean, same exact thing. Like we are in the racing capital of the world, as we call it, right? And there is, other than Raw, which you've got a chance to experience, I have to drive at minimum basically 3 hours to go to any track outside of Raw. Raw is an hour and a half from me. Illinois, you have a track every 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
you get to enjoy the hell out of it over there. But over here, it's the same way. And I worked in professional motorsports basically my whole life here, until since I started my business. But um, like when I was at DSR, kind of the same thing. Nobody, no, hardly anybody that is at like a DSR or at any of these IndyCar teams. Like most of these guys aren't from around here. They have their transplants. They move in, and there's really nothing to do racing wise around here other than either go to the dirt track on a Friday, but most of these guys are out of town, so it's like that's one of the big things I want to do here is have a Tuesday night race, so all
Yeah,
these
for sure.
guys, so they don't have to go to the bar, they can come here and hang out, and they can race and do their deal, whether it's low C, do a low C spec class or whatever. So yeah, kudos to you, because that's we're in the same spot with that. I definitely see the opening that you're seeing down there. We have the same thing up here, and it's that's really cool that you're going to do that for those guys.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it all works out and it's a good place.
Absolutely. So one of the big things that's on all of your cars, all of your RC cars, and all of your personal, all your dirt car stuff, is Darkhorse race cars. So I didn't know if that was going to be your soiree into maybe making some dirt oval cars on the RC side, or what does that
Yeah.
look like?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of been my brand for a while. It's just what I run my dirt cars under. It's just kind of Dark Horse is basically my umbrella, and then everything falls under Darkhorse. So, um, yeah, I mean, there's honestly not much to it. Like I said, I have a million ideas, right? Like we all want to have our own RC dirt oval cars that are, winning the Chili Bowl in every big race. Like I think that's everyone's dream, right? But I just said it. Like I'm not in a position to even start that or even think about that. And there's a bunch of other stuff too that like I've thought about. But it's just how do you do it? So yeah, there's not much more with Dark Horse. The track is going to be called Dark Horse Race Club because I want it to be more of a club environment um, than like a racetrack, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, I just want it kind of just everyone to feel welcome and more than just like yeah, just a racetrack. So yeah, Dark Horse is just kind of my thing. It is on everything that I do personally, and yeah, it's just kind of my umbrella company that everything falls under.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, do you want to peel the onion back a little bit and what are some of those other ideas, or are those shareable things, or are those, or do we got to keep those under wraps right now, or
Uh, I
what do
mean,
we got going
there's
on?
not much to it. I mean, there's the car that everyone wants to build. I think if anyone could get into the tire business, I think there's a lot there. Just because it's like mailbox money, um, pretty much, and I think Malakote has just hit the nail on the head there. Like that's pretty good industry to get in because you don't do anything like right. It all comes prepackaged, and you get a bunch of tracks on the spec tire, and obviously again that's something that I'd like to do with my racetrack, right? Like like if I could have my own spec tire at my racetrack and it's a good tire like that people want to race on, and then it grows from there. So no, I haven't had a lot of um like business ideas. Again, it's really just not like a business for me. It's like been my passion project. I'm not looking to make a fortune. I don't think anyone really is from RC cars. I'm not sure if there's a fortune to be made unless you like really expand it, but um yeah, I just need to kill time. I have a lot of time on the race weekends that I sit here and just do stuff like this that I'm just sitting in a hotel room doing nothing. So if I can fill my time any way, that'd be a good idea.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, that's, I mean, all great ideas, and that'll be pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, so tell us a little bit more about kind of your other big car endeavors, right? Some of your I think one of your other kind of loves outside of RC is going dirt modified racing. Obviously, that helps you stay sharper behind when you're, the truck stuff, and keeps you dialed in there as well. But what does kind of that, I don't want to call it crossover, but maybe crossover between, when you go out and you go big dirt car racing, is that for fun, just like how RC cars are, or are you trying? I mean, that's, you're honing your craft when you're in that car.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's both. I'll say the big car stuff is much more expensive than the RC stuff. Although the RC stuff, for some reason, can get out of hand too.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I was doing a lot of dirt racing. I grew up dirt racing, running mini sprints in Indiana, and went the pavement route, and then started Truck Series racing, and they had Eldora, and so I kind of got back into a modified with David Strimmy. He obviously has lethal chassis, and we rented one of his cars just to get some laps back in a big car. I'd honestly never drove a big car, a big dirt car, full size car on dirt, and just kind of did that to get prepped for Eldora. And wasn't spectacular at Eldora, but never was for some reason in the truck. It was just so much different driving. But um, yeah, and then just fell in love with it. Started doing it, especially like when you're truck series racing. Like again, so many weekends off. I mean, we only have 20 something races, so um, yeah, a lot of weekends off, and then went cup racing and kind of fizzled out from the big car dirt stuff. It's really hard to do it if you don't have like a full team of guys working on them, bringing them to the racetrack and a private jet. So I didn't have any of that. So I stopped dirt racing, sold everything, and at the end of last year, got back into it when kind of had things calmed down a little bit. And I've been wanting to go to the dome for a while. It's been like like my dream. I don't know. I get like fixated on like these one races, and like the dome is like everything for me. I've been every year for I think like the past 3 or 4 years just watching, and I had an opportunity. I got invited in 2023. I think I won a bunch of gators down in Volusia, and really didn't do much more than that. Got invited, did some races, and you have to run mufflers there because it's indoors. So we took the headers off of the engine to put the mufflers on, and one of the valves was like super rusted. So we thought we had a water leak of some kind, and so we were like, it was like literally like Wednesday before the dome, um, or Tuesday or Wednesday. So I didn't want to just waste a motor, as much as I like dreamed of it, and then I haven't gotten an invite back yet. So um, just trying to do as much modified racing as I can. Did Volusia this year. Um, I had some mixed results, and then got back in the elite camp with Nick Hoffman. Recently, I've done 2 races on it, and they've been great. I love the elite. It's an awesome car. It's just fits my driving style, and really good equipment. So, and I love Nick. He's awesome. He obviously is really good race car driver himself and very smart. So yeah, I'm planning on doing, like I said, Flow Night in America, which whenever I guess is going to get released in a next week or a few weeks, but y'all will have already seen how that went, and then I'm planning on doing the full Hell Tour, like the whole thing. Somehow we have a 3 week break from truck racing, and it lies directly on the Hell Tour. So I have one guy I do all this with, and he's been with me forever. His name's Matt, and he takes care of all my dirt car stuff, does kind of all my personal stuff for me, and great relationship with him. So I've been like, I laid this idea in his head that we were gonna do the Hell Tour, because like when you go do Volusia and Speed Weeks, like it's like 7 to 9 days. It's a lot, and then for those that don't know what Hell Tour is, it's like 20 something races over 3 weeks, or I don't, it's like you race every day at a different racetrack, and it's just crazy, and it is what it is. But
29
like,
races in 32 days.
yeah, that's what it is. So, and the modifieds don't do the full thing. I think the late models do, but the modifieds have a few days off. But anyway, I want to do it. Um, I'm trying to convince him to do it. I think I've convinced him to do it. So as long as I keep it together next week, and don't have anything major happen, yeah, we should be good. But I just love it. It honestly helps me a lot. Helps me get out of my comfort zone. Like when I line up for a dirt modified race, like I'm so much more nervous than I am like when I lined up for the Daytona 500. Like I know that's crazy to say, but when it's not your like day job, and it's not what you do every weekend, and you're like outside your comfort zone, like it doesn't matter what it is. Like it just makes you so much more nervous. And it's same with like the RC racing. Like you get on the big stage, and you just get like the shakes, right? So yeah, I tell everyone all the time, like, and the dirt racing's hard. Like, there's some really good, talented race car drivers and smart people out there that run modifieds, and it's as hard as anything I do. Like, if not harder for me, just because I don't do it all the time. So yeah, I just like it. It keeps me sharp, gets me out of my comfort zone, puts me in situations that I'm not in on the normal weekends that I race, and
Love it, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it's that Hell Tour deals is awesome. And I'm assuming you've never been to Spoon River or anything like that where you're going here in a couple. Oh, you have been to Spoon? Okay. Yeah, that's
the course of my life, I don't know. I don't know if I've hit too many walls, or it's just hard to like really remember each single one. And again, maybe it's just because like in a single night in a dirt race, you run like 26 laps, right? Because like, hot laps and qualifying is together, and then you may or may not have a heat race, and then you have like a 20 lap feature. So you're kind of like in and out of there, which I like. I like that about dirt racing. Just kind of quick and easy, and move on.
love it. All right, man. Well, I know your time is precious, and I want to get you out of here. You've obviously seen quite a few of these episodes, at least the one with Matt. So at the end of every episode, I've got 4 questions that I ask every guest, and we'll go through those, and then we'll get you out of here. First and foremost, on all your personal stuff, number 99 is what's on the car. Why is that? What's so special about number 99?
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, I like have no story. Like I've been thinking about this because I knew you were gonna ask me, and like I don't know. I was born in 1999, and again, I don't know if it's because I've hit too many walls and I just don't remember when I picked the number when I was like 12. But um, I was born in '99. I think it looks cool. I think it's one of the, but I mean, obviously everyone's gonna say that about their number. So I don't really have a cool story. It might have been because I was born in '99. I probably have to ask my mom because I'm sure she knows. Truthfully, uh, I have no idea. I just have always ran it, and it's always been on my stuff, and I think it looks cool, and that's it.
So growing up through quarter midgets and micros and all that, were you 99 then as well?
I think it started a little bit later, maybe when I was in full size cars, but it again, it could have been on some stuff. I mean, how we went racing like when I was growing up was just kind of like whatever used car we bought, whatever number was on it was like just kind of the number I was gonna run. Like, I don't know, we didn't get our stuff decaled, like, we're just, like, racing. My stepdad did all my racing with me, and that was kinda his deal, like, like, we weren't trying to look good, we were just, like, going to have fun or whatever, so, um, yeah, I think once we, like, started to actually wrap our stuff, like, with sponsors and stuff and, kinda got into that aspect of it, it was more of, like, what do you want? But, yeah, for the longest time, we would just buy a car and whatever guy before that had on it, like, that's just what it was, so yeah, I'm gonna go with it was just my birth year, and we'll call it that.
Perfect. Nice. And so did you were you kind of raised in a motorsports centric family, or were you kind of the innovator, if you will, into racing?
My dad's a pilot and my mom's in real estate, so I had some extended family in racing, my uncles and my grandpa a little bit, but yeah, I how I got into racing, I guess. Quick story is my cousin, who's younger than me, was racing quarter midgets at the time, and his dad was pretty into it, and I just went over there to his birthday party, got in it, thought it was cool, went home, told my mom I thought it was cool, and then she said, "Well, if your stepdad, takes you to the track and you guys like it, then, whatever." So then we went to the racetrack. My stepdad was obviously into it, and I think we bought a car that day, like just some used car, and I spray painted the body black. And I mean, again, we just had no idea what we were doing, and we just evolved from there. I think up until I ran Xfinity. So my whole career from when I was 9 to the championship race, I guess my last full time season in trucks, my stepdad went to every single race, didn't miss a race until I started Xfinity racing. And that's kind of when I got my first like gig with colleague and like my first like real professional job. So owe a lot to him. He did it all. I mean, he drove all the hours when I was um, you know, young and under 16, couldn't drive, and took me all over the country. And we would race a late model on Friday. We'd run a different late model on Saturday with like CRA. Like we just did it all, and just pretty much us two, and maybe a guy helping because obviously he didn't know much about it at the time, and we just needed some help. So yeah, I would say my family for sure is like a racing background family, but like my immediate family, like yeah, we just kind of started it and got a little lucky.
Nice. And that, so one other thing I wanted to touch on before we finish our questions is doing my research. I believe 2 years ago it is now. You started the process, or at least did your first solo flight, pursuing getting your
Yeah.
pilot's license and everything. So you just hit on that your dad's a pilot. So hit on or tell us about that journey and kind of where you're at in your pilot your own personal pilot journey now.
Yeah, so I did a lot of it. I started it when I was at Rick Ware running the Cup cars. And honestly, their shop, which they were aligned with RFK at the time, was at Concord Airport. So um, me and my wife had just gotten married, I believe, and I'd always wanted to fly, loved it. Just yeah, I mean, obviously, I spend a lot of time on planes now, right? Like it's all we do is fly here to there. And my dad's a pilot, and my uncles are pilots, or were pilots, and yeah, I just grew up in an aviation family more than anything, and it made it super simple. Like I'd get done with my meetings or just hanging out with the guys at the shop. I'd hop over there, do flying, or I honestly I loved morning flying because the air was so calm. So I would just go out there before the sun came up and did all of it in a short time, um, and passed my written test just for the private. I don't even have a license, but passed my written test. There's three tests, and then you have to do an oral test and a flying test with a CFI. And it's quite the process, and they were pretty booked out at the time. Um, but and you have to stay current, so it's a lot of flying, and I loved it. And I was doing a lot of cross country solo flights, which were so fun, just going up there and logging miles. But anyway, got an opportunity to race with Spire at the time, and a bit more serious of a gig, and just kind of let the flying uh, die out at the time, just because I had to put my focus into making that deal as good as I can. Couldn't be flying 5 days a week, so yeah, me and my wife have talked about it. She always says you need to get back into flying. Because honestly, I feel like it helped me in the race car. Like it just activates your brain in such a way because, um, A, it's like literally on you, like you're flying the airplane and like there's no escape. And there's no escape when you're in the race car. So it just activated my brain in a different way. I think it was so helpful, honestly. Um, but then there was also like the side of it where I'll be real is like the school planes are a little bit rough. It's like going rental go kart racing, right? Like you get into a rental go kart and you're
Oh
like,
shoot.
man, but it's like uh aviation school plane. So, the landings are hard on them. It's student pilots, right? And they're old planes, so I always kind of have that back in the back of my mind. Like I would love to get my own plane that's like really nice and I know is safe and well taken care of. And I'm not saying the school planes aren't. I'm just saying um, they're student pilots landing and taking them off and caring for them. So um, yeah, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. Every week I want to get back into it, but I kind of wrestle with myself about it. So yeah, maybe someday, but um, I'm not sure.
Nice. And you brought up, Rick Ware Racing there. At least the way it was portrayed on social media, and I know it's all changed now with all the, alliances and all that stuff, but was that as cool as it seemed on social media? Like when you go to work and you go to your cup ride, and then there's also a Top Fuel dragster in there, and then there's also a flat track motorcycle program in there, and
Yeah, he's
at least on
certainly
social media,
yeah.
it was all intermingled.
Yeah, the cup deal was at RFK. So the cup cars
Okay.
were on campus at RFK and one of their engineering buildings, but um yeah, he definitely has a lot of stuff going on, and he does have another shop. The actual shop, the other shop that's not on campus, which I guess I'm not exactly sure where they are now. Now that they have an RCR alliance, but the other shop definitely had everything else in it. Like I went there a few times for some meetings, and definitely everything was in there. So there's not much room. Again, just a guy that loves racing. I loved racing for Rick. He was a top notch guy, very professional, great family. Him and Lisa, and yeah, what an awesome time. I mean, honestly, kind of saved my career. Um, at the time, we ran just so good together, and it was a really good fit.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we got question number one out of the way. Number 99. So the next one, and you can. I know you may not be the biggest guy in RC right now, but you love
Yeah.
it. So if we need to go into big car stuff or whatever, if we need to go outside of the scope of RC, we absolutely can. But what is one tech tip or piece of knowledge that you think every racer should know?
Yeah, again, I have so much respect for all the RC racers because they're so smart. Like, every single one of them, like they're just lights out. Yeah, I think one of the things that's really caught me off guard, and again, this is my personal belief, is like the car setup is a lot of it, but the radio setup is just as much of it. Like, and what I've always thought was strange about RC racing, specifically dirt oval, is that more times than not, everyone has like neutral setups. Um, and we're turning left. Like again, I guess like the springs and shocks and all that are like neutral and their positions are neutral. And then you just offset the weight in the chassis. And then that's just kind of how it goes around. So I've always had like this mindset, like, right, I'm in oval racing where we have spring split and just, crazy sway bar stuff and, just everything's offset because you're going left. So, um, it always kind of confuses me that a lot of people have neutral setup cars, even sometimes when it's like all four springs are the same. Like, again, to me, is like mind boggling. But then you get it back with like the offset and then the radio settings. So I think, like, personally for me, the radio setting stuff has been crazy. And every time I go racing with Matt, um, he like teaches me something that like I just didn't know. And I think it might have been even what he said, like to read the manual of your radio because there's so much stuff in there that like you have no idea like about or that it can do or that it can help you. And it maybe not help you go fast, but it'll help you manage your race and get you out of situations or I don't know, like, obviously, I've spent a lot of time with Murph Dog on the road, and he just like sometimes will walk me through his like he has a whole process. Like when I get there and I'm just like, throw the car on the track, like make laps, turn left, like this is so awesome. Like I want to do wheelies and like if you've ever seen me, like the first like 10 laps I do, like back into RC racing, like it's the greatest moment of my life. Like I'm just like hooting and hollering. I think it's so fun, and I can be doing cartwheels, but like it doesn't matter. Like it's fun. But he will walk me through like his first process is to get like his trim and his steering speed and his like brake stuff like so it doesn't like lock up when he hits the brake like stuff that I like I don't know don't think about like I'm just out there like trying to wheel it so um I think for me that's been and again all the people that have raced RC forever are probably listening to this like like it's obvious but like to me it's not obvious. I don't use a controller. I use a steering wheel. And I always have. So just knowing all of that, the electronics has just been like big for me and it's been a steep learning curve back to the RC Chili Bowl when I won it and I just was trying to figure out how to bind the thing. Like, for someone in RC now, like thinking back on that, that was like crazy. Like, obviously, you can bind it, and like you don't know which like port to put your servo one in and your motor one in. Like that's like stuff like that. Like is so simple, but like if you're new to it, like you just don't know. And I think that's why like getting into RC racing at like the level that we just all think is normal is like it's pretty crazy, especially from someone like myself. Like I'm not saying I know a lot, but like I've been in professional racing for a long time, and the RC side of it's just a bit different, and there's a lot to it.
It's daunting. It's daunting. Like
Yeah,
you take a kit and you dump it all out onto the table, and you're like, oh crap!
yeah.
Like what did I just get myself into?
And especially for me too, like, reading like like I can't read a transmitter or radio manual and like I have to do it. Like I have to have like almost have someone like show me like what it's doing. Like reading something front to back. Like I just don't retain info like that. So like I said, going racing with Matt, love him or hate him, like he's been a huge asset to me and um yeah, just been super helpful.
Love it. Yeah, Matt was a great guy to interview, and him and I still talk from time to time now after the interview. And yeah, he's a good dude. So I agree totally. And this question might be where we need to go outside the scope of RC a little bit. But what is one RC race that every racer should go to? So maybe what is one race that every racer should go to?
Yeah, I mean, I think RC Chili Bowl is obviously pretty pretty high up there for me. I like it's honestly like I already have my Airbnb booked, and it's I don't know what it is. It's end of April. Like I just love that race, but again, it's so daunting um, to like just even go to. Like it took me like 3 years to work up the courage to like do it, and like the sign up for it is a disaster. Like you almost have to like have someone tell you what signups is like to even sign up for the race. Like, so that was a bit different, but um Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of great races out there that I see on Facebook. I really wish, and I think this goes for like dirt racing in general. I wish there was a better like schedule, like because I feel like when I have RC races and like off weekends, like you have to like be in certain Facebook groups or Facebook pages or like there's just like not anywhere to like find like the list of races. I don't know. I think that's crazy to me. Like I didn't know about Central RC Battleground until I like texted Max Fleur and was like, "Hey, like what are your next 10 races? I want to go with you and like learn." Like and that's how I ended up there. But like me just like casually scrolling Facebook, and I'm in a lot of the groups, like it's just hard to find the races. And I find that difficult. So, and there's no fix to that, right? Because it's an RC racetrack. Like the marketing budget isn't high. Like, again, it's just usually in someone's backyard, which is so fun. But yeah, I find it difficult. I think to wrap up the question, I find it difficult to find where to even race. And I feel like I'm more times than not asking Murph Dog or Max or Malico or someone just to give me direction because I'm here this weekend, right? Like I know of Little Dega now because I've been there, and I know of all these tracks that I've been to. But like Kansas apparently has a dirt oval track right by the racetrack that I didn't know about. And then Stevie Reeves come walking with his sprint car or something one week off the plane, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I don't remember the story, but he was going over there racing, and um, I didn't know about it till like the next day." So I just wish there was a better way for all the RC races to get promoted without having to be like on these crazy Facebook pages or in knowing it or. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense. But for
Well,
me, an average racer, like it's hard for me to find races.
that sounds like something Scale Labs needs to figure out how to do, and be able to have one link that you can go to and see.
It would be so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, similar with like real dirt racing, like it was so hard for me to find these like Flow Night in America races that I'm doing next week. Like again, you have to like click on like I don't know. I guess in my world, like the schedule is set and it's published. Like there's an app that tells me what next week's race is. So, yeah, I just wish I feel like I'd race RC a lot more. But a lot of times I'll be done with a weekend and someone will be like, "Hey, why didn't you come out?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't know." So, and like that's how I ended up at Raw was Kevin Smith. He races there, and obviously I'm sponsored by Wits, and yeah, but I never would have known.
Right. And that's a perfect example is I feel like so many times, even on the big car stuff, like right now on the TV here next to me, I've got the World of Outlaws late model race up. And it's like, unless you physically open up the Flow app or the Dirt Vision app and
Yeah,
see what's live tonight, like I
I
always
find
learn
myself
about
doing
the
that too.
race I learn
Yeah,
about the race and who won tomorrow.
yeah,
And it's like, oh
tomorrow on
shit, I would have
Facebook.
sat here
Yeah,
and watched it. Like that would have
yeah.
been cool. But yeah, so I
I'll
get
find
that totally.
myself
It's the same
too
thing.
now with midweek races. Like again, I'll just be sitting in the shop doing something, and I'll just like click on Dirt Vision and click on Flow, and see if there races. And if there's not, like I'll click on my race pass to see if there's a race just to watch. Like because it's just a lot easier just doing that. So, um, yeah, I guess, or maybe like even if Live RC like had some way to future cast it or something where you could put up some post. But and again, there is for the big races, but like again, the big races are a different story. But yeah, just like the normal stuff, I guess.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, last question. Give me three people who you think should be the next guest on the podcast.
Um, oh, I don't even know if I know three people. um, well, I would just say like obviously Max Fleur, which I don't think you've had him, but I think he's a legend for sure. And then you have Eddie Hill, who kind of runs around in the Custom Works 10 as well. And again, I'm just saying these names because I've just been with them. Um, um, but there's like a lot of good racers too, like even Ryan Harris. I've met him through Wits, and we kind of pitted together through our Chili Bowl, and then he's came to the Daytona 500 the past few years when I was running it, and um, yeah, become really good friends with Ryan. So yeah, I would say those three. I think they're all really good people. I think in the RC industry in general, like I said, I think my closing remarks from this is like I just have so much respect and like um I guess like a I don't even know how to say it. Like everyone is so good at what they're doing. Like you show up to Chili Bowl and like everyone is so good and they just know what they're doing. And like I almost envy them because um they're so good. So I have like nothing but respect for the whole industry. I think in general, like I just want to show up, have fun. You might not always see me taking it like super seriously, but like maybe in some situations I am like way too serious and like you try to talk to me and I'm just like focused in. So um yeah, I just I want to be good for the sport. I just want to help grow it. I think hopefully with my track I can do that and yeah, just hope to RC race soon. I honestly don't have one soon. I don't think I hopefully I can get to Raw if they're racing on Indy weekend. But then again, like now that I'm racing trucks, I'm racing on that Friday night. So it's kind of like I have more open of a schedule than I've ever had. But I'm just feeling those with like real dirt races. And like I always tell my wife all the time, I'm like, I don't know if I like real dirt racing or RC racing better. Like I really don't. And that might sound crazy to some people because I bet like some people just like love to run like dirt cars for fun. Like some of us do. But, like, I love RC racing, and I think a lot of people, like, really don't understand that. Like, I truly love it, and I don't do a lot because I can't, especially with having, like, a new family and, our daughter being 4 months old, like, that's put another layer on top of it, right? Like, life just continues to, um, grow, but, yeah, that's kinda what I wanna have my own racetrack and kinda control when I can race, and, not that I'll race at my own racetrack a lot, but, at least have a place to go hang out and be involved in it.
Awesome, man. Well, Justin, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, giving me your time and giving all of us that's going to listen to this your time. This has been an awesome episode, and so many people are going to really love to hear, your story and your love for the hobby, the sport, and we can't wait to. I know me personally, and I'm sure a lot of other people can't wait to find a track that you're going to be at soon and get to race with you, man. So thank you so much for being a great advocate for the hobby, and thank you for enjoying it as much as we do. And that's it, man. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, for sure. The next race you see me at, I'll probably be doing cartwheels out of the park, and then hooting and hollering on the driver's stand, and probably pissing someone off. But it's all for the love of it. So I don't claim to be a good RC racer. I'm just there to have fun and try to help grow it and yeah, just have a good time. So appreciate you having me on.
Awesome. Thank you, man. So, all right, guys, this has been another episode of the Scale Labs RC podcast. This was Justin Haley. Best of luck to you this weekend at Texas, man. And we will, can't wait to see you at the next race we see.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Peace.